So I just popped over into the Schwab and it is actually showing this. This surprises me because most banks, it literally will not show at all for a couple of days. So we're going to see on day one if we can actually like roll up in here and make a buy. So we're going to go to the search bar. We're going to type in CONY, CONY, enter. YieldMax is coming up. This is the Coinbase option. It's right around 1720. So we're going to hit the buy button. We got a box pops up over here. Tim told me to put in 1709. His Oracle ability of stuff. You can click the calculator here, put in the 15G, and it'll automatically calculate how many shares. You can click apply and then review. We do not want to reinvest because we are taking the cash out of this every month and we are paying off that debt. So this is a limit order. We want a limit order. We don't want to buy at market. And we're going to click review. And it'll give you your buy, blah, 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 14,000, yada, 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 place order. That's how you do a limit order. They're super easy. Order received. I can't believe we're getting a freaking green light. Okay. I'll probably keep an eye on this throughout. Order status. As soon as the bid ask split, whatever, gets like drops down, this will fill eventually. If Tim is right. If we need to adjust this, we'll adjust this. But we're going to let this go. You can see this moving. Very nice. Super exciting. I have butterflies in my stomach. I really have a hard time paying interest. So that's one of the reasons why debt just like literally triggers me. But we will see what happens. And like I said, from the freaking data, it just makes so much sense. You don't have to pay crap, and you're paying it with money you're making from the money you're taking from somebody. So it's like, why not? OPM is kind of sweet. Not sure why I didn't do this before. And I think after I do the results, I'm going to be even less like traumatized. So this will probably be a very good learning experience for myself as well from a fear-based component. So this will be really interesting. All right, guys, I touched up the chart a little bit, but the reason I'm checking back in or making this new part is because I wanted to show you over in the Schwabi. We put that limit in. It's now later. You saw that this was like 1720 something. It bounced up to 1734. And now it's like right about where it's at. So this is why I trust Tim's opinion on, these bid ask things. And if you look at the day chart, you saw that it opened, like this freaking thing opened at like 1824 and it dove off a cliff, which is freaking phenom. We'll probably keep an eye on this to see if it actually hits it. And again, I have no idea if this is actually gonna go through because we technically just put the money in and I don't know if it's actually like in there. But I was surprised they let this go through without error. So we'll see. So we canceled our 1709 because it didn't go through. And again, I don't know if this is actually because we can't actually trade right now, even though it let us put this in some way, shape, or form. But if you actually look at the thing, this totally dropped down to like, it did hit. You can't quite see it here, but if you get deeper into the candles, like it did pop down below 1709. But I wanted to show you guys that this is a really good example of one of those consolidation triangles. Like if it hits it a third time at that level and it doesn't crest it, it will freaking drop back down. It'll drop down. But if it does break through here, the consolidation point, like if it goes above this, it'll go up. So Tim actually thinks that it's going to go down. So we'll see what happens. I was debating on seeing if we could put an order in for kind of about what it's at just to test this to see if it'll go through. Because like if I'm sitting here watching this, we're trying to change the price thing. I don't know if it's worth it if we're not actually able to get in this thing. So it might just be a moot point. We might have to wait a couple days. We shall see. I did want to tell you that I looked at the loan data and the loan date right today is 12/9 and the first payment according to the thing isn't due until February 1st. So that's actually really cool. So even if we don't end up getting in this before the ex-div date, we should still be able to pay with CONY dividends before the first payment is due. So I shouldn't have to actually pay anything out of my own pocket. We can use the proceeds to pay from there. So I just wanted to update on that. I actually cannot believe that this thing filled because first and foremost, we just put the money in We did not do a margin account, which usually means that you have kind of like a credit line until the cash comes in. It usually gives you more flexibility. I'm shocked and like just amazed that we literally just did this transfer. The money's not even showing out of my actual credit union right now. So the fact that this was able to buy, I'm flabbergasted. So we did change the price from 1709. That was what Tim wanted to put in, to 1712 because the way the chart was looking, because it dipped and it didn't actually buy down here, even though it actually did hit 1709, but there must not have been enough ask versus bid, like market make matching. But now you can see right here, it's below. Tim's annoyed that he actually got the price right and he guessed it this morning. But he said that this thing mirrors the Coinbase one because this is the YieldMax that this is based on. So you can see the chart here is pretty much freaking identical. That's why he was looking back and forth between that one. He's like, we could have got a whole extra share. I was like, seriously, semantics, scheme of things. This is one of those things where you can drive yourself crazy. If you don't have the time to sit around and watch this thing all freaking day to change your buy orders and try to get into the charts, predicting the ask buys, the splits, getting into Thinkorswim to have like the actual real-time metrics, like this is unnecessary. It really, truly is if you're trying to live life. But Tim does what Tim does. So anyway, I now entered the fact that we bought this at $17.12 a share. We got 876 shares. So now it's just a matter of figuring out what the heck we actually get paid per month and what the interest and payout and everything. If we're in this, we're definitely getting the dividend that pays out, what'd you say, Friday? We get a dividend on Friday, which is absolutely insane. So we'll do a quick update when that happens. And as you can see, date is the 9th. So the dividend should come through on Friday. All right, guys, I want to come back in here because this is always what happens. This is always what happens when you buy into stuff. Like we got in at the 1712. We ended up bumping it up from the low that Tim was even at. And then the volume shot up. I don't know if you can see this, this massive spike down here. See how that one candle goes up really high? That's a massive volume increase. Usually when that happens, big candle moves. Like this, if you can see right here, that's another huge one. Look at that big ass drop right there. So that's what happens when you like volume increases. Crazy moves happen. So this thing freaking fell off a cliff. And again, if you didn't have a bigger game plan for this, like you could literally be like freaking the hell out. So if you look at the account, we got in $15,000. We are already down almost $200 just from like only a couple hours of being in this thing. We've had a 1.29% drop. We were saying, these YieldMaxes are extremely volatile. And because they're such a low price point, those couple penny moves and everything, those 10-cent moves, again, that's a 1% drop. It's pretty freaking crazy. This thing just closed. The market just closed. It's up a little bit after market. Obviously, it closed at 1690. So we'll see tomorrow what the heck it's actually doing. But again, it really doesn't matter because this is not about your value. This is about the dividends that they're going to pay out. So we'll touch back in on Friday and I'll do like what happened for the week from the price standpoint. And then we'll show you what the actual dividend payout is. And I'm still just kind of laughing that we closed with almost $200 down. Nice. And that is, if you go back to our chart, that would be almost the entire, that's more than the principal would have been on a payment for it. So that's why I said this is not for the weak of heart. This is not for the faint. We've had a year of data with this, so we feel comfortable enough going in here. And I was a little scared when I went in. It was just like a fear bubble, but honestly, once I did the math, I'm completely fine with whatever's happening. Even if this thing keeps dropping off a cliff, it is what it is. All right, guys, touch back in later.